is your beginner core circuit level 3. So this is the last circuit in the beginner series. We have 5 exercises to go through. I recommend watching the individual videos prior to doing these circuits just so you get comfortable with the exercises, because I go through them pretty quickly. So that will kind of make sure that you are doing them properly and you know what you're doing prior to coming into the circuit. So that's my recommendation, but you can absolutely follow along if you haven't already gone through the individual videos as well. So we're going to come onto our back, legs straight. You're going to clasp your arms above your head, so your head becomes a little bit of extra weight here to your core. You're going to do a deep 360 inhale. Exhale from the bottom up, engage the pelvic floor. Bring that rib cage down as you lift your head and lift one leg, then the other, and come back down. Inhale. So you want your back to expand down into the floor. That's something I'm currently working on. Exhale from the bottom up. Lift the head. Exhale. Don't let your pelvis shift a ton here. Inhale through my nose. Couple more here. Make sure there's no lower belly pooching. Make sure you're exhaling from the bottom up. And relax. So that is alternating leg lifts with your head lifted. So the next one we're going to go to is 90-90 unsupported with arms overhead. So we're going to go back to our back, or you can just stay on your back there, and then we're going to bring your knees and hips up to that 90-90 position, arms at shoulder height, kind of elevated even here. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring one arm overhead at a time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. One arm overhead. Don't let that rib flare. Exhale all your air out. You can then progress, if that feels easy, to both arms at the same time. Again, you're watching for any bulging here, lower belly pooching out, doming bulging along the linea alba, the midline. If you feel that, or if you see that or feel that, make sure you're exhaling through your mouth, all the air out. Think of exhaling from the bottom up. Pelvic floor lifts, deep abdominals engaged. Then gently bring your rib cage down and in. And if that still doesn't change things, then you may need to modify. So maybe you're not ready for arm movements. Maybe you still need to keep your legs supported. You might need to bring your legs down between each rep. Those are all good modifications. Next, we're going to come into a modified side plank on our knees. So both knees bent, elbow just underneath your shoulder, lift up so your side is away from the floor, and we're just going to hold here for about 5 breaths. And lower, and we're going to switch sides. So here, make sure you keep your ribs, your whole trunk neutral with your hips and pelvis. Okay, I don't want to see you shifted back like this. You can shift slightly forward, that's okay. Hold here and breathe. If you watch my hand here, you can see my ribs still expand to the side on my inhale. Exhale, I'm engaging my core. Everything feels and looks good here, so I'm not seeing any doming or bulging along my midline. I'm able to engage my deep core and maintain a good breathing pattern. If you feel like you have to hold your breath to do any of these exercises, then it's probably too hard for you, so you likely need to modify to prevent yourself from bearing down on your pelvic floor. Next, we have hands and knees. We're going to do hip extension, so bringing one leg behind you at a time. So inhale through your nose, exhale, engage those deep abs, end up drawing your hip bones together, and then engage your glute as you bring your leg behind you. Inhale, exhale, kick that leg behind you. You should feel the glute working. We're not lifting it too high. We don't want our back to do the work. We want those glutes to work. Also, don't let your hips shift side to side like that too much. You want to keep everything stable here, so make sure you're getting good core engagement as you bring that leg behind you. Okay, last one we have is a tall kneeling pallof press. So we've done these in both the beginner level 1 and 2, but this time we're going to stay in this tall kneeling position. So same idea here. Keep the band at the center of your core. Inhale through your nose. Exhale from the bottom up. As you press the band away, don't let it rotate you. Once you get about 6 reps, we're going to turn around and do the other side. And that is it. That was the last exercise there. So there you have it, your beginner core level 3 circuit. Again, watch the individual videos, especially if you have questions or if you're not sure if you're doing an exercise right or if something just doesn't feel right. Make sure you watch those videos to break it down more so you can practice it and get the most out of each exercise.